I think anyone who saw the recent Clayface teaser trailer will agree that not only does the movie look like the totally unhinged and dark version of the character, but it also feels like the movie has wandered into the DCU from a whole other franchise. I mean, we have a Clayface movie that is being widely described as an R-rated body horror story. It has all the tropes of a perfect body horror film, and at the same time, it's based on one of Batman's most intriguing villains. It seems like James Gunn's not going the MCU way, where everything has to be PG-13 with some action, some comedy, and largely vibrant vibe. Mr. Gunn is giving his movies and TV shows the tone and the style that they all need, instead of sticking to a one-size-fits-all approach, and I'm all for that. Superman gave us the bright public face of this new universe. Supergirl is set to take us into a rougher cosmic lane with a rougher cosmic character-driven story. Lanterns, on the other hand, is headed towards crime thriller territory. And then here comes Clayface, an R-rated body horror origin story about Matt Hagen, a rising actor whose life falls apart after his face is disfigured. And although he somewhat manages to quote-unquote solve his problem, it only poses a bigger problem for Gotham and, of course, for Batman. I mean, Gotham has had its fair share of desperate medical fixes, but it seems that ship has not yet sailed, and we'll get much more of it in coming times. But the interesting thing to note here is that Clayface is not an Elseworlds movie, and it's not part of Matt Reeves' Batman world. James Gunn has made it more than clear, and in multiple interviews. This is Mainline DCU, the same world as Superman, Supergirl, Creature Commandos, Peacemaker Season 2, and of course, Lanterns. So, even if the trailer sells itself as a self-contained movie with no Batman cameo in sight, the movie is still super crucial to the larger universe. In fact, I think it's a good thing that despite being set in the DCU Gotham, the movie would not be desperate to announce the connection every 5 minutes. This helps because this way Clayface doesn't have the burden to act like an extended 2-hour trailer for the next 10 DC projects. Honestly, thank God for small mercies. Having said that, the upcoming movie appears to function like a prequel inside the DCU timeline. Gunn has said Clayface takes place before Superman, which means Matt Hagen's fall happens before the DCU audience catches up with David Cornsweet's first big screen Superman chapter. But that does not automatically mean Superman doesn't exist yet, or that the world has no superheroes. It simply means Clayface is being placed earlier in the known movie timeline, while still connecting to the same movie universe that includes Superman, Supergirl, Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, and the Lanterns. Now, if you've seen Clayface in Creature Commandos, you know that he was hired by Ilana Rostovic to kill this Themysciran scholar named Isla McPherson. He succeeds in doing so and then fights the team, but then the supervillain seemingly dies. However, James Gunn has in fact confirmed that he does not, which leads me to believe that the villain's first live-action solo movie will not focus on what he does after becoming Clayface. Instead, it would rather explore the things that he had to face and suffer from, things that broke him so badly that he became who he became, and that's where the emotional side of the film would probably be. Matt Hagen is not being projected in the teaser as some random Gotham freak who happens to have shape-shifting and other powers and abilities. He's a performer, a man whose face is his career. It's his identity and currency, and maybe his face is something that gives him a semblance of control. But then, all goes to hell when a gangster disfigures him, and he turns to a mad scientist for help. Although it pulls from familiar Clayface tragedy, especially the actor body horror angle fans associate with Matt Hagen, it is pretty sad. You see, he's a man who made a life out of being seen, but now he can't bear what he sees in the mirror. And instead of healing, he mutates into something that can become anyone, but all that while he still remains trapped inside himself. This is the kind of tragedy Gotham loves to manufacture, because it seems like the city has a thing for taking a damaged person and then making them a worse version of themselves. This also explains why Clayface does not belong in Reeves' Batman crime saga. Reeves' Gotham is grounded, grimy, and mostly built around corruption, a lot of murder, extremely power-hungry people, and some very severely twisted psychology. Clayface kind of breaks this model. He's not merely a criminal in a mask. He is body horror personified. A man with shape-shifting powers, and Gunn's DCU can absorb that without needing to apologize for it, or without making it cringe and over the top. And yeah, the Batman connection is still there, even if Batman himself isn't. Clayface takes place in Gotham City, which makes it the first real window into what the DCU's Gotham will look and feel like. So far, this universe has only brushed against Batman's world. Pattinson's Batman is, of course, a separate Caped Crusader altogether. The Batman Part 2 is also Reeves, and it looks like The Brave and the Bold is still the entry point for for the DCU's Bruce Wayne. Having said that, Clayface will allow the DCU to build a Gotham before Batman appears on screen in a later installment. That's smart, because Gotham shouldn't feel like a city that comes to life only in a Batman movie. I mean, it is a city after all. It'll always exist and should be given more respect than passing references. So, unless Lanterns or Supergirl shows Gotham, Clayface will be our first guide leading us into the city of crime and madness. Additionally, since it is a prequel, I think Gotham will be slightly old, sick, and lived in, with people who are making bad decisions all the time. There are still timeline questions though, like we do not know exactly how far before Superman this story takes place. It could be a few years or it could be far earlier. There were also set photo details where one could see like these older cars mixed with modern Gotham media vans, and even Gotham newspaper imagery that some fans compared to Reeves' universe. But that doesn't prove anything, let alone a shared universe, especially since Matt Hagen is an actor and the film could use movie within movie material to explain some period details. So yeah, for now, all we can concur is that Clayface is 100% DCU, not Reevesverse. And if I'm being honest about why I'm excited for this upcoming project, well, it's the fact that James Gunn is giving the liberty to the DCU installments to be what they want to be what they should be. Superman can be hopeful, Lanterns can be a detective story, Supergirl can have its own thing going on, and simultaneously, Clayface can be a reported mid-budget $40 million rated R horror film, and all of them can still belong to the same world. That's a risk, yes, but it's also the correct kind of risk. DC characters were never built to feel like they all lived in the same neighborhood. Hardly any of them come from a friendly neighborhood, maybe apart from Superman, but then he grew up on a farm. So yeah guys, that was all in this one. If you're into DC and Marvel, please consider hitting the subscribe button because we post developing updates all the time on this channel. Stay safe, have a good one, and as always, stay marvelous.